Hello, grade 9, and welcome to a new writing lesson. Today we're going to talk about descriptive writing, and as you see in the beginning slide, descriptive writing is all about details, is all about the senses, what you see, what you feel, the colors, very, very deep descriptive. So let's begin. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to identify the elements of descriptive writing, to distinguish between expository and descriptive writing, to know the difference, use sensory details and figures of speech in writing, and finally write your own well-organized descriptive essay. Well, the main purpose of descriptive writing is to describe a person, a place, a thing in such a way that a picture is formed in the reader's mind. And how do you do that? How do you describe something so well that a picture is formed in the person's mind who read it? Descriptive writing involves paying close attention to details by using all your five senses. This is how I can paint a picture for the reader. Notice this, the pictures you see. When I want to describe them, I need details. I need to describe the colors I see, the beauty with which they were made, their shape, how I felt when I saw them. When I touched this piece of pottery, how did it feel? Such important details, all using your five senses. Of course, the touch, the smell, the taste, sight, hearing. Now, the characteristics of a descriptive essay, which we also call descriptive elements. First of all, in descriptive writing, of course, we're going to use a lot of adjectives and adverbs. Remember, adjectives are describing words like amazing, beautiful, colorful, awesome, golden. Okay? Adverbs add more meaning to verbs and adjectives like I carried the vase carefully. Okay? Carefully is the adverb, adding more meaning to the adjective or the verb. Obviously, because descriptive words add important details, make descriptive writing more interesting and colorful. Example: enormous flakes of snow fell peacefully from the sky. Okay, just notice the difference. Snowflakes fell from the sky. Descriptive writing, that would be expository. Okay, I'm looking at the sky now. Snowflakes fell from the sky. This is expository, I'm giving information. However, if I want to write it in a descriptive way, look at what I use. Enormous, this is an adjective. Flakes of snow fell peacefully from the sky. Peacefully is an adverb, adding more meaning to the verb. How did the snowflakes fall from the sky peacefully? I'm describing the way I felt when I saw them. The dark path felt strange. I walked a dark path. That's pretty basic. The dark path felt suspiciously strange. Okay, strange in a very suspicious or scary way. Okay, this is how we use adjectives and adverbs. Okay, adverbs like everything, like ends with an ly. Wonderfully, amazingly, adding more meaning to both the adjective and the verb. Okay, this is one point. We also use a lot of figures of speech. Let's go through them again. Simile, metaphor, personification. A simile, what's a simile? It's comparing two things using the words like or as. Example, her heart is like pure gold. What am I comparing here? I'm comparing her heart to pure gold with the use of the word like. He was as brave as a lion. I am comparing him and his bravery to a lion using the word as. Metaphor. Of course, there are so many more figures of speech, but at this stage, I want you to know those three. I want you to use those three in your essay. A metaphor is speaking of one thing as if it were another, comparing two things without, as, or like. Instead of saying her heart is like pure gold, I say her heart is pure gold. Speaking of her heart as if it were pure gold. He was a brave lion, not he was like a brave lion. This is the difference between a simile of and a metaphor. In a metaphor, we do not use like or as when comparing. We speak of one thing as if it were another. His heart is a rock. Okay? It means he doesn't have feelings. Finally, personification, as the name suggests, giving person characteristics or human characteristics to non-human things or to non-humans. Example, the flowers danced gleefully in the spring field. Of course, gleefully means happily. Do the flowers dance? No. Humans dance. I'm giving human traits to flowers, therefore I'm using personification. The sky poured its tears on the thirsty earth. Okay, first of all, the sky doesn't have tears, I'm personifying it, and the earth doesn't feel thirsty, I'm also personifying it. Notice the difference between just any regular sentence. I saw the flowers in the field. I saw the flowers dancing or swaying happily in the field. Adding those figures of speech, those adjectives and adverbs, give more beauty to the writing, and that is why we include them. Finally, sensory details, as I explained, use senses while describing. The senses: touch, smell, sight, sound, and taste. Example, the freezing cold wind feeling cut through their skin as they heard the loud, hearing thunder and saw the blinding lightning torching the sky. Notice how many senses I used here. All the above elements I talked about, adjectives and adverbs, using figures of speech, and using the senses or sensory details, are put in a text or are used by a writer to add beauty to a text and make it more interesting to read. Now, the framework of a descriptive essay, of course, it's divided like any other essay into an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Introduction provides the reader with a hook, like any other essay. Hook, attention getter, remember, first sentence or two. Background information, the lead, what leads to my thesis, which is the main idea of my essay, what I'm going to describe. Maybe I'm going to describe a trip to Baalbek, or a trip to the workshop where they make glass. Okay, this is what you're going to write. The body, okay, introduction, of course, one paragraph. The body, you describe the topic from different angles using descriptive words, sensory details, and figures of speech. What you saw, how you felt, what did you see, what did you hear, what did you taste. Let's say you went to a food exhibition like many of us have and do. We go to an exhibition where we are tasting the new olive harvest, or we are tasting the new grape harvest. Okay, maybe we are going to an exhibition of spices. This happens a lot in India. There's a whole festival of spices in India. You would use the sense of smell, the sense of taste a lot. So you would talk about how you felt, what you saw, okay, using your different elements, and the conclusion, feelings, just like any other essay, feelings, final point, impressions, final thoughts. So this is it in just one square. Add sensory details, hear, what you see, what you smell, what you touch, what you taste, descriptive words, adjectives and adverbs, and your impressions, your feelings, and of course, figures of speech. Okay, the prompt. We're going to write a descriptive essay. We have all been on a special trip that was so memorable to us. We still remember it. In a well-organized descriptive narrative. What do I mean by descriptive narrative? It means you're telling the story of this about this trip. When did you go? What happened there? What did you see? How did you feel? What did you taste? Okay, what did you hear? Okay, in a narrative way. I went with my family on an amazing trip to the ruins of Baalbek. Okay, and then you tell me the story in a descriptive way. Recount a time when you visited a certain exhibition. Exhibition is a place where they display things like handicrafts, like traditional food, like jewelry, like books. There's also a book exhibition, a museum, ruins like the ruins of Tyre, the ruins of Baalbek, the ancient places, handicraft workshops such as a workshop for glass blowing, etc. Of course, you can make up something. Let's say you haven't been to a special place, or maybe you want to write something different, something new. You can do that. Describe your trip from the beginning to the end. Talk about your feelings during that time. Make sure you use figures of speech like simile, metaphor, and personification. Use sensory details, and needless to say, use adjectives. Fill in the chart below before you write your essay. Title. Okay, I wrote a model for you to write accordingly. A memorable day at the exhibition. Setting, exhibition in our city. Time, recently. Characters, me and the people at the exhibition. Main attractions, there were 2 large halls inside the venue. Venue is a place where a lot of people go to. Stalls from different places displaying different handicraft. Of course, stalls are those little kiosks, little shops, okay, divided maybe by cartons or by gypsum boards. Saw a beautifully made camel statue and bought it as a gift for my mom. In the second hall, there were different types of traditional food, tasted many of them. Feelings, I am glad to have had this opportunity to visit the exhibition. I got to see unique art and crafts from my country. It made me understand my culture much better. Okay, those are the feelings. This is the model, a memorable day at the exhibition. An open exhibition was held in our city recently. Recently means a short while ago. I am very fond, I like visiting exhibition, so I decided to visit it. It was a handcraft and handloom expo like exhibition. Everybody took a keen interest in this show as local artisans, craftsmen from all over the country had participated in it. The exhibition was unique, special, and highlighted the various cultures of our country. There were 2 large halls inside the venue. Each building contained stalls from multiple states, multiple places in the country, where the participants displayed their best pieces of art. Some of the work was very pleasing to look at, like the potteries, handbags, textiles, shawls, handicrafts, paintings, hats, jewelry, jute crafts, etc. Notice the author is describing, he is listing what he saw. What I liked the most was a nice and beautiful camel statue made of clay, displayed, meaning shown, in the Rajasthan state stall. This story is in India. It was built so neatly, with close attention to all the minute features. This is not minute, it's minute, meaning details, that it looked just like a real miniature camel, tiny. Can you notice the adjective? I purchased that piece from the artist so that I could give it as a gift to my mom for her upcoming birthday. At the corner of the second hall, there was a food section with very traditional and unique dishes, okay, being sold. I enjoyed tasting various sweet and savory dishes. Notice the senses, especially the hot kakoris from the Rajasthan stall and sweet besan laddus from the Uttar Pradesh stall. Finally, in the conclusion, feelings. I am glad that I got such a great opportunity in visiting this exhibition, as I got to see the unique art and craft from various parts of the country. It made me understand the cultural diversity. Diversity means the differences of our nation, of our country, and left me feeling proud of our immense cultural heritage. So this is what a descriptive essay should look like. Now I'm going to have you write the prompt, but of course using a different place, somewhere you visited in Lebanon, maybe in Turkey or another place, and tell me how you felt. Use sensory details, adjectives, figures of speech, etc., and follow this model. Okay, we will discuss this further, of course, during Zoom Live. Please write down any questions you might have, and see you soon. Thanks for listening.